I'm Richard Wolff from Democracy at Work. I want to talk today, as I have in the past, about what it means to live in a society where we have the best government money can buy. The recently completed Super Bowl in the United States gets tens of millions of people gathered together to watch the television at the same time. One of the largest audiences ever doing one thing at one time, to which we could address some of the urgent concerns that face this country and get a lot of people thinking about it and maybe trying to do something and maybe making a difference. But the people who control the television apparatus, the very small number of major companies that do that, want to make money. And this is an opportunity to do that, so the money making takes precedence over the social welfare, doesn't it? And worse even than that was the fact that short spots, relatively short spots, on the program, the football game, cost upwards of $10 million, according to most reports. So that the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, took out $10 million worth of seconds before the American people. And Michael Bloomberg, an even richer billionaire, also spent what is for him trivial, $10 million, for his short spot in front of the large audience. And so the people watching, the tens of millions, did not have a chance to see different positions on a burning issue of our time, did not learn about something important to understand in a conflicted world today. No, they got to see what the richest people in the society wanted them to see. For Mr. Trump, as usual, a self-promoting hustle. Painful in its transparency, its dishonesty, and its self-serving. Mr. Bloomberg had his idea of what he wanted people to see, which was a very similar sort of self-promotion, had to do with an arguably important issue like gun control, but it was first and foremost electioneering. The larger point here is, of course, what it means to live in a market system. In a market system, when there is scarcity, when more people want something than there is of that something, then a process of bidding goes on in which the folks who want it bid against each other, eventually driving up the price so far that only a tiny number are left who can buy what is scarce. And so in a market system, the system delivers to the richest whatever is scarcest that people want. I'm aware of no morality, no ethics of the traditions of human commitment to morality and ethics, which thinks that distributing what is most scarce to the people with the most money is what a decent society should do. And I will leave it to all of you to try to square the circle. A market system and a moral and ethical system? How indeed do you do them together? My colleagues in economics came up with an ingenious effort to square the circle. Here's their argument. We should let prices go crazy up. You know why? Because it stimulates other people to go into the business of making what's scarce, to cash in on the huge prices, and as they do so, the prices will come down. Interesting argument. Suppose it takes 10 years. Is that ethically okay for 10 years of gouging before the benefits kick in? Or here's the even more obvious rejoinder to what my colleagues have concocted. Suppliers are smart. They know the game too. They know that others will try to catch up. So you know what they do? They take a part of their enormous profits from being one of the very few, and they use that money to do what we call in economics erect barriers to entry, to block other people from coming in. And that's why you have to pay $10 million for a few seconds on television, and way too much for all of the industries in which a small handful of companies dominate and control. Capitalism doesn't work.